Williams. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
How can I help you today? What's going on?
I don't need any help, but I did stop my car.
Okay.
It was thunderstorm.
Mm-hmm.
It was not safe to drive. I was reading my book, and then these officers came and knocked on my door and said I was trespassing. And I said I didn't think I was trespassing. I can move on.
Okay, we got a call here that the car's been sitting here for several hours, and that's why we were called to come out and investigate.
It's been here since it was thunderstorm.
Okay.
I was hoping to ride out the rain.
Okay.
I didn't think I was committing a crime.
Well, I understand that, and if that's the case, that's the case. Like I said, we got a call to come out here and look into it and investigate.
Okay, I understand.
Because they said that the vehicle's been sitting here for several hours. From their perspective, that's suspicious, right?
Okay, I'm not complaining about that.
Okay. So, I'm just curious, because I noticed you have a New York plate.
Yeah, I'm
You've
traveling.
got a rack. So, are you from New York?
Yes.
Okay. A resident of New York?
Yes.
Okay. What brings you down to Georgia?
Visiting different houses of worship.
Okay. Is there one here in Athens, or are you passing through Athens?
This one, I think it's at Cherokee. Let me see. I put it up here. Cherokee Corner Church.
Cherokee Corner Church. In Athens, are you familiar with that?
I know.
We have a Cherokee Road, and we have Cornerstone. I don't know about a Cherokee Corner.
It says Arnoldsville, Georgia.
Oh, okay. So you're a little ways out that way still.
Actually in Athens.
Yes, sir. It's in about 20 minutes or so down the road then. Okay. What kind of church is that?
I'm going to a Quaker meeting.
Okay. Okay. And you do a lot of the traveling around then? Are you like a higher up member of it? Or?
I'm traveling in the ministry.
Okay.
Just visiting different Quaker meetings.
Understandable. Okay. So again, from our perspective, just so you understand, right, we don't just show up. We get a call.
I'm not complaining about that.
Okay.
The only issue I had was that your officers kept insisting on me showing my ID, and I said, I'll show you my ID if you're going to arrest me if I committed a crime. And that's all, that's where it stopped.
Sure. So what we're investigating right now is we're investigating the complaint of loitering.
Okay.
Right, and that's what we're investigating, and that's why we're out here. So we are investigating the complaint of a crime. We're not just out here because, right?
Okay.
And we need to determine what's going on. We need to talk to the people in the store and all that. And just quite frankly, like whether you're in trouble or not, right? As soon as someone says that they don't want to show us, that they refuse to show us an ID, it's a red flag for us.
Okay.
Right. It shows us in a lot of cases, and I'm not saying it's you specifically, but a lot of people are trying to hide from something. And the easiest way to move on and clear it up is if you've got nothing to hide from, we run your name, it comes back clean,
right?
And we all just move on. You go to church, and we leave the gas station, and everyone's on their way today.
Okay.
Right, and it's simple enough as that. Because otherwise, the loitering complaint, then it only furthers our suspicion that that there's something weird going on, and that there's a problem of some sort.
Yeah.
Right, and so that's part of our investigation.
I tried to explain to your officers that I only stopped because of the rain. I'd be happy to move on. I was just reading my book when they knocked on the door. I wasn't doing anything illegal. As far as I know you're saying that I'm trespassing, but I didn't realize I was trespassing.
And we understood that, which is
they do want to bar him?
why we tried to explain to you the nature of our investigation.
So here's the thing, sir. They want to bar you from the property. Okay, that's on them. That's their right to do. So in order to do that, at this point in time, it is a criminal trespass warning. Okay, it's not an arrest. However, it is something where we do need your ID so that we can fill out the paperwork and officially make it that you are barred from this property. Okay, so at this point in time, because they want to do that, we are going to need your ID.
Okay, I just need to fully understand what's going on. So I parked my car here during the rain. They called you, I don't know exactly when, but when you guys arrived, you asked for my ID. I refused to give my ID because I didn't believe I did anything wrong. But now you went to the manager, whoever this person is, and they are asking for a bar. I'm just trying to explain what
a trespass warning. So what they're doing is they are barring you, they are trespassing you from the property, which means if you return back here, then you will be arrested for trespass. Okay?
So-
And so for that process, we will need your ID. Okay?
So just so I understand, they're asking me to leave.
No, they're telling you you're not back allowed on this property. They're making an official report and documenting that you're not allowed on this property.
Okay, I haven't been here before.
It doesn't matter,
I'm just
sir.
trying to. I'm just trying to
No,
understand.
you
Okay.
keep on trying to string
You
it
say
along.
you keep trying to understand, but we're explaining to you the process.
You just keep
Yeah.
on
Okay?
going in circles.
So, and you keep going back to the point that we've already explained. All right? So here's the thing. We get your ID, we put it in the system, we trespass you from the property, you're on your way, you're never going to return here again, so it's not going to be a problem for you, right?
I
So
wasn't planning
we
to
make it
come back.
official, and we move on. And that's that. That's the end of
Okay.
it right there.
So-
Okay?
Sir, I was not planning to come back here.
Okay.
So
Okay, but we have to make it official still per their request. Now, if you don't like that, you can call into corporate and you can complain about that.
I don't know
And
what this company is.
it's Murphy's,
Okay.
okay? It's the Murphy's gas station.
Okay.
But right now, the people that are on site, who are the ones that have the authority to do that, that's what they want to do. Okay? So we're going to move forward with that process. And
So,
if
that's-
you want to
that's-
call them and complain, you
Yeah.
can do that later. And if management or someone above them wants to go ahead and lift that or do something about it, that's on them. But right now, right here, the people on site who are the people who have responsibility,
Okay.
that is what they're wanting to do. And so that's what we are moving forward with.
Okay. So
Okay?
again,
So-
just to understand the process.
We've explained it multiple times now. What don't you
Provide
understand?
your ID or not?
So that's what I was going to ask.
Mhm.
So in this instance, if I refuse to show my ID, what's going to happen next?
It's considered obstruction and failure to identify yourself to a law enforcement officer in a legal course of their duties.
And you're going to arrest me and take me to jail? Is that it?
If you refuse to identify yourself while we're trying to do our jobs, yes, sir. It's as simple as showing the ID, we trespass
Okay, I
you,
mean,
and we all move on for the
I was
day.
hoping to go to church today, but if you're going to arrest me, go ahead.
What?
Really the route you want to go?
Why won't you just show us your
I'm just
ID?
trying to protect my constitutional rights.
You're
This is
not,
not
though.
rights that
You're not.
all I did was stop during the rain
Right.
to be safe,
For a long period of time.
and then now you're arresting me
For identifying
because I didn't show my ID. It doesn't,
No, because
doesn't
you
sound right.
trespassed. No, you stop.
I'm
okay,
willing-
wait.
Listen to what he's
Stop.
saying, because you've said the same thing over and over
You
again.
For 5 minutes, okay? Stop talking. Let me finish. You keep interrupting and not listening.
Okay.
You were here before this business even opened. Okay? You caused the employees to be fearful because they were not sure what your purpose was for being here for a long period of time. Okay? What your behavior isn't normal. So they said, hey, we're concerned that people, stake out things. They look for businesses that are closed so that when they open or close, they can rob them. I'm not saying you were going to do that, but your behavior caused them concern. Therefore, they called the police, who came to inquire about what your purpose was for being on this property. So, due to that nature of that complaint, we're going to identify you to figure out what your purpose is for being on this property. You have a chance to alleviate our concern. Part of that is identifying yourself. We need to know who we're talking to. We don't know you. Okay? And then, on top of that, because your actions made them concerned, they don't want you here on the property. So therefore, we have to identify you to document that you're not allowed on this property again. And you're refusing to comply. If you had the chance to alleviate our suspicion, fine. But during the course of that, you're required to identify yourself. And furthermore, identify yourself so they can bar you from this property, which is their right. This is private property. So you need to identify yourself. This doesn't have to be that complicated. We could have been gone. We could have been on our way by now. But you're trying to go on a crusade for something that I'm not sure what's going through your mind. But it's not really logical.
Are you finished, sir?
Go ahead.
Okay, so as I said, I'm willing to be arrested if that's what you guys want.
No,
It's not what we want.
No, that's garbage.
That's not what we want.
You to identify
We want you
yourself.
to identify who
Stop.
you are. We want everybody to
You're not a
move on
martyr,
with their
okay?
day.
Just identify yourself so we can move along.
I just wanted to go to church this morning, but
Okay,
if
what do
you
you
want to
mean?
arrest me, go
All right,
ahead.
You want to go to church? You want to go to church? Right? You just said you want to go to church? Let me see your ID. You'll be out of here within 5 minutes. You can go right to church. You don't want to go to church. You want to try to make yourself into something that You're making it something that it's not.
Okay.
So
I've said
you
my
can leave
piece.
in this last
Sir,
minute.
I've said my piece. So I'm going to cooperate and get arrested if that's the
Okay.
process.
That's really the route that you want to go with something as simple as this.
That's not what I
All
want.
you need to
That's
do
the
is give me
process.
your ID or give us your name and date of birth, and we will be moving on. You will be down the
Is this your
road
vehicle?
going to church.
Is this your
I
vehicle?
think this will clear up very quickly once I speak to a judge.
Okay, go ahead. But is this your vehicle?
Like I said, I'm willing to be arrested, and I'm not going to speak anymore because you're telling me I'm going to be arrested.
We're asking you to identify yourself.
I'd
We're
like
not
to
trying
talk
to
to a lawyer.
We're going in circles.
You're detaining me.
Yeah,
It
we're
sounds like
detaining
you're going to put me under arrest. At that point, I would like to talk to a lawyer, and I'm not going to say anything else because I know anything I say can be.
Hey, we're not asking you to say anything.
Yeah,
We're simply asking for your ID.
We've already talked.
Okay.
This is an argument over ID, not.
I've stated what
You keep
I'm willing to
talking,
do.
And the problem is, until you get positively identified, you're going to remain sitting there.
In front of a judge, this is going to look very silly, but I'm willing to go through the process.
Because I thought you wanted to go to church and you're not planning to come back here. But yet you want to go before a judge. You're really contradicting yourself.
This is literally one of the simplest and easiest things we deal with on a daily basis. Daily basis. So will you provide us with your ID?
Sir, I've already spoken. I'm willing to be arrested and speak to a judge about this whole process.
You don't get to speak to a judge. You get booked. It's a misdemeanor charge. You get a bond. That's not how it works. So will you provide your ID, yes or no?
I'm willing to go through the whole criminal justice process.
This isn't you. Will
and
you
talk
provide
to a
your
lawyer.
Will you provide your ID or not?
And you're saying I may not speak to a judge, but I think if anyone sees what's going on,
How
they'll
you're
see
not
how
cooperating?
ridiculous
All
this
it's
is.
asking for is something as simple as your ID. Will you provide your ID, yes or no? I don't need a long. It's a yes or no question.
So you're refusing to comply with his lawful order to provide your ID in furtherance of his investigation and the barring that has been requested this morning.
I'm willing to be arrested.
That's not. We're not asking if you're willing to be arrested. We're asking for an ID.
You told me I'm going to be arrested, so
We're
I'm
warning
willing
you
to
of
be
the
here.
consequences of if you fail to
Okay.
identify yourself
Right.
and comply with this process.
I've done
Because it's not, we're asking you, but you need to understand it's not a request. It's not a question. It's a, you need to identify yourself at this point in time. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't understand why we can't just move on from this. You'd be on your way, we'd be on our way. And it would be as simple as that.
I understand.
Okay.
So, out of New York, but the return of the driver's license photo. New York doesn't return the driver's license photo. So, it's not saying there's any evidence, but I don't know that the other thing is, we don't know that that's him. It could be.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know what his name is. But I also don't know who he is either.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
100%. But he's been told what's happening. He's been given the opportunity to voluntarily provide and identify himself. And for whatever silly reason, he continues to refuse.
Yeah, let me get her name so I put the barn.
All right. LSA 3012. LSA 3012. LSA 3012. It's a solar panel.
Yep. So she said that she got here about 5:20. They don't open till 6. We got here about 5:40ish or so, and then she opens the safe at 6.
Okay.
So she was like, "All right, this car's been here for 20 minutes. Nobody's gotten out of the car. There's nobody else here." And she was concerned either they could have done drugs and then passed out, or she's like, I gotta start my safe at 6 and open it. So if somebody's taking it out and something happened. So she said she didn't call till after 7 or around 7. So we've been here almost an hour and a half and never saw him get out of the car, come to the store or anything. So she was concerned both that something had happened in the car, an overdose, or he's staking it out to come, whatever. So this is just irritating. Like, it could have been.
Oh, 100%. Easy to move on.
Yeah.
And if
You have an issue?
pictures return or whatever, that would be nice, but they don't. It would be.
Right. We're trying to do everything to identify this dude, but he's. What does it say at the top? The wanted person.
There are other things. There's a Hispanic with deportation and a protection order for Pennsylvania on a different name.
It's like, I don't know if this dude's just trying to like make himself. He's been watching too much YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or he's somebody else that we don't know.
It'd sure be easy if he would just identify himself.
Any other options?
No, not unless we can positively identify him, and he refuses to continue to.
Right. We tried to look up a license. New York doesn't return the photos. He won't tell us whether this is even his car. I really don't know what else. I don't know another
Agreed.
option.
It'd be easy if he would just say, yes, that's me, or this is my identification.
All right. We're going to go to jail. All right. Put your hands on your back, please. Thank you. 95 is 1095. I don't know like if you're like on a crusade. Man, is there anything else going to poke, stick, or cut me?
No, I don't have anything sharp.
Okay. Is this your car? Do you have the keys?
I'd like to talk to a lawyer.
Well, I'm just saying, the car's left here. You can face that way, please. Thank you. My phone. Okay. Searching you. I mean, now you want to tell me everything but what I needed to know.
Just in case.
Just in case what? It's going with you. I'm not taking it.
Okay.
You're
I just don't want to be a threat, so you don't hurt
What
me.
are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You
You're
put
really
me in,
trying to.
you put me in
Because
handcuffs.
you're under arrest for refusal to identify yourself.
Okay, now you're searching me. I just want
That's
to
your
make sure.
search incident to arrest.
I'm just letting you know that.
What are you
I don't
letting me know?
There's nothing.
Okay, you're
Okay.
going. Your search incident to arrest. Okay, I already asked what I wanted to ask. Now you want to give me a play-by-play of what's in your pocket. Like, if you said there's nothing's going to poke, stick, or hurt me, okay,
That's
great.
key. And
I'm
some
not-
writing pads.
Okay. Now you want to answer everything but what I asked you, which is what your name was and for your ID.
I'm not a danger to you
didn't
or
say you
anyone
were
else.
Nobody
dangerous.
said that you
Nobody
are.
said that.
We
no-
literally search every single
You're really
person
trying
head
to
to
make
toe,
this
just
something in your
like it doesn't matter who they are or what the reason for the arrest is. Everybody gets
I'm just
searched
letting you know,
identically.
I have nothing dangerous.
And
I'm,
he asked that and you
Nobody
answered.
said that.
no
But we're still going to
weapon.
search
Nobody
you.
said that.
Nothing
Nobody said you're
sharp.
dangerous. There you go. You want to sit in there and have a seat? Let's go
Unnecessary.
ahead and get the barn.
Yep, get her out here, tell him, and that's that.
Alright, don't understand.
Get in the water.
Especially because after the arrest, it was in his wallet. It was right there.
That's a solar panel on top of there.
Is that really?
I believe that's a solar panel that runs down into the car to power whatever he has going on in there. Probably so he can just travel, or whatever it is that he's doing. What's that?
That'd make it really easy to live out of it, especially if he's on a, what did he call it, a missionary journey or something like that.
That's what he's saying.
I've heard of Quakers, but I know nothing about them. I'm not a very religious person.
Now that he's at this point, I'm gonna head in because I still have catch up to do from yesterday.
I got something.